Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Dua. This is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So let's take a look at your situation. So you said I registered for your online course yesterday. My score in the TOEFL, which I took last year, is 13 points on the reading, 15 points on the listening, 17 points on the speaking, and 18 points on the writing. You say, how can I start to prepare again for the test? I can study 8 to 10 hours per day or more. How many months do I need to improve my score to 80? Additionally, in the reading, I can't manage how to answer the questions. They aren't direct. You told me I need to read 40 minutes every day, but the question is about what kinds of books you recommend. I live in the USA. Please give me plan and steps to work to improve my score in all fields. I decide you want to say work hard and make my dreams true. My dream is to improve my English and attend graduate computer. You want to graduate from graduate school in computer science. Wow, you got a lot of questions. Now, I'm going to tell you to slow down a little bit here. If you study 8 to 10 hours a day, just TOEFL, you're going to burn yourself out. Remember, there's 3 important ingredients in terms of learning a language. Number 1, it's your attitude and your motivation, first of all. This is very important. Now, it sounds like right now you're pretty motivated. You have a positive attitude, which is good. Now, the second thing you want to do is practice. And the third thing is to do it over an extended period of time. So if you start studying 10 hours a day TOEFL, that's probably going to be mentally too difficult for you. And in just a few weeks, you are likely to burn out. You could burn out, which is probably not a good idea. So if you burn out and mentally get exhausted, then you're not going to be studying as much. So remember here, the race, it's not to who's the fastest in the beginning, but it's the one who consistently studies over an extended period of time. So what I recommend for you is slow down just a little bit. I would recommend to not use my online course more than about 3 hours a day. That's plenty enough. Right? Now, the rest of the day, you can do other things. For example, reading. And let's get to what it says in your question here. Yeah, I do recommend that you read about 45 minutes a day. And what kinds of books? What kinds of books do you like? So what I'd recommend for you is, you say that you live in the United States, go to the Barnes & Noble bookstore, or any bookstore in your city. Walk into the bookstore and look for books in the adult section. Your best bet is probably nonfiction. Nonfiction books in the adult section, and pick books which are interesting to you. So you say that you like computers or computer science, right? So maybe you can find a book about computer science. Now also, if you feel like the reading is too boring and you want something more exciting, you could read an adult book that's fiction. It's more of a fantasy type novel. The main thing is the book needs to be a few hundred pages long. It needs to have several different chapters, ideally about 10 to 20 chapters. That way you have to begin connecting the different parts of the book to other parts of the book, and this is going to stimulate your critical thinking, your speculative thinking, the academic English thinking that you need, I think, to do well on the TOEFL and to succeed in your graduate courses there. So that's some of my recommendations there. Okay, now let's go backwards a little bit and talk about getting your score to 80. I recommend about 3 months. Here's what I recommend. For the first month, focus in the vocabulary, grammar, and the pronunciation areas of my course. Now, in the second month, focus on the reading and the listening areas, but you should also be continually reviewing the vocabulary words that you're studying in my vocabulary section. That's month 2. Month 3, you can focus on the speaking and the writing parts of my course. Again, you should probably continue to review the vocabulary words that you are learning in the first section of my course. So that's my recommendation. So 3 hours a day, no more. Because remember, you need to stay mentally motivated. 8 to 10 hours a day, your brain can't take it. I think it's too much. Because you need to relax, right? You need to go out. You need to exercise. I'm telling you, exercise is very, very important. And make sure you're eating right when you're doing this kind of intensive study. So in addition to studying the 3 hours a day and focusing on the lessons in my TOEFL course, you can take my advice and do the extensive reading. You can watch movies in English. You can also read magazines, and you can read newspapers and those kinds of things. And if possible, try to have contact with native speakers on a day-to-day basis. If you feel like you can't find anybody to talk to, volunteer. There's a lot of homeless shelters in different parts of the United States, and you can maybe look on the internet or go to a phone book. Try to find a place where you can go to volunteer. And you go there maybe 3 hours a day, and all you do there is to help people. But guess what? You will be speaking English the whole time. And that's going to be very, very good for you. Alright, so these are my recommendations. So at the end of this video, again, I want to caution you against studying TOEFL 8 to 10 hours per day. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's too much. It's too much for your mind. It could cause some psychological issues. So I do not recommend that. So remember, my recommendation is no more than 3 hours. And then after the 3 hours of studying my online course, then you can do other things, either speaking or watching movies or reading or things like that, to also use English. Alright, Dua, anyway, I hope I've kind of given you some good ideas. And I got to tell you, I admire your motivation, your desire. I feel from your email a very, very strong passion to get that high English score. And I'm very confident that you will be able to do it. But remember, be smart, be consistent, and don't try to do too much too soon.